Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Angels Always Win 444. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful, beautiful Sunday and weekend. This reading is for Monday, the 20th of April. Even though it is dated for that day, whenever you are called to this reading is most likely when it will resonate with you. If it does not resonate with you, please leave it. Just take the good out of it, like everything in life. Leave the baggage, what no longer serves you, whatever's hindering you, and welcome in the growth, the light, the strength. I have cleared our space with some Palo Santo, and we're just going to do a really quick prayer. So I invite the presence of loving spirit to bring help and healing here. May divine love bless, guide, and protect and inform us. May pure inspiration and divine love guide this experience and bring wisdom to our hearts, minds, and souls, and bring blessings and abundance and guidance to all, and ensure that only love, God's love and wisdom speak. Amen. Okay, so this is from Monday. This card is upright because when it fell out upright, okay? If they're face down, that's just how they fell. So maybe more important, maybe. I will list the decks I am using down below. So this is beautiful. As I'm doing this, the sun is setting and it's like it just suddenly got so much brighter. Like it's shining in right now how it's shining in right here. This says practice compassion. See things from a fresh perspective. 15 or 6, if that is significant to someone. Okay, so that's our first one. And then we have 27, or the number 9, spiritual connection. A relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. Okay. So take a look at the images too, so that if anything, your subconscious will automatically gravitate to something. Or also it could trigger like a remembrance within you, or it'll trigger something within you. And if it's a negative emotion, that's something you need to heal or work on. And if it's like a beaming feeling, it could be inspiration that perhaps you needed to like ignite you. And then we have dance with life. Do something to change your energy. And this is beautiful. It has like 2 ladies. And also, so what I'm getting from this too is balance. But like balance yourself like through good energy, through something that's fun for you. Don't think of like, oh, I need to balance myself like again, or like, oh, I'm hearing I need to balance myself again. Think of it as do something fun, like if it's dancing, dance. If it's just singing music really loud in your house, go do that. Or drive around singing music really loud. Do something to positively help you that feels good to you because you want to feel good. Like you want it to feel good. Not because you're like, oh, I'm in balance. No, just do it because you want to. And then we have Gaia, nurturing. So, if any of you are in any relationship that you're in, try to see, and you're having some issues perhaps you're in a darker energy, try to see things from a fresh perspective. And it doesn't have to be see things from the other person's perspective. It could just be seeing it from an overall perspective perhaps, or look at something with childlike innocence. If you were a child, how does this look to you? Like, what does it look like? Or what do you think people should do? You know how children always have the simplest, most beautiful solutions. Obviously sometimes they're very far-fetched, but they're beautiful because they're innocent. And try to practice seeing life like that. Practice compassion towards others, towards other creatures, to other life. And then spiritual connection. If you're watching this and when that came up you thought of someone, chances are the relationship you have with that person is the one that you need to have that fresh perspective on, and you need to practice compassion. And and find something to do that's going to change your energy in a nurturing way, in a way that's going to nurture this connection. Instead of, feeling like you're in the dark with it, try to find the light. I just feel like this is such a light, bright card for this, that it's like, practice nurturing yourself, first off, to change your energy so that you can bring compassion to another situation that perhaps needs your compassion and your love and your patience and your childlike innocence and wonder and love to help nurture it forward. I'm going to read this one out of the book, the Gaia one, the nurturing one, because it does come with kind of like an affirmation at the end of it. So we're going to see what it says for Gaia. Okay, one second. Gaia. Okay, so for Gaia, it says, Earth Mother, Mother Goddess, Great Goddess, Terra Mater, and Gaia. In Greek pantheon, this magnificent being was Earth personified as a goddess, daughter of chaos. She was the mother and wife of Uranus, heaven. And that's what this looks like. This looks like heaven too, so it's drawing me to that healing, heavenly light energy. It is her body that we walk upon every day, and the substance of our own bodies is the substance of hers. It's from Gaia that we receive everything we need for survival, which she provides for us abundantly, nurturing our body, mind, and soul. And that was actually part of my prayer too. Bringing wisdom, to our body, minds, and souls. She nurtures our bodies by offering the fruit of the trees, the greens from the earth, and the air that we breathe. She nurtures our minds through her awesome physical and dynamic beauty. And as depicted in this card, and I don't have the deck, I'm waiting for it to come in, but I was bored. I've been stuck indoors for a long time. She's constantly creating and recreating beautiful, amazing colorfulness and diversity of the world. And again, it was that beautiful, the beautiful sun rays coming in right now through my window, just like it looks like it's really shining down beautifully around that child. She nurtures our souls by caressing us with her blessings each day and challenging us to be better humans through her response to our attentions and intentions. Receiving can be a sacred act if your intention is to honor spirit. It is as holy as giving when performed with a humble and open heart. This is even truer when receiving much needed nurturing. So let others give to you. It may be a stretch to do so at times because of childhood conditioning, but that habit can be overcome. Your wounds can be healed. One way to achieve this is to nurture yourself and allow others to nurture you. Consider the actions you take that are self-nurturing. What comes to mind when you really think about doing beneficial things for yourself? Set aside your ritualized habits and benefits and beliefs that restrict the pure act of allowing your body, heart, and soul to be nurtured. Lie on the earth and ask Gaia to rock you in her bosom as you breathe with her and relax into her loving care. And that's actually awesome because earlier today I went outside and I didn't realize how nice it was outside. I just went outside to kind of check the temperature because it can be really deceiving. And it was so nice out, and I actually walked out with my bowl of cereal and no intention of sitting out there. I just wanted to check the temperature out. I actually ended up taking out my slippers, just sitting down. I was wearing white pants, my PJ pants too, but I was I just felt the need to touch, to have my feet I felt the need to be very grounded. And especially because in my dream last night, I don't know if this applies to anyone, but in my dream last night, it was such a vivid dream the whole night. And also I woke up in the middle of the night. It was awful. not awful, but it's been the past 2 nights. So I'm going to try to have my decks ready the night before, just in case that's why I'm waking up in the middle of the night, because it makes no sense. I literally just wake up and it's various hours. Like, it's not like the one time, you know, how some people will always wake up at like 3:30 or 3. Mine is like sporadic times. Like last night it was like around 2, and I think I was up until like 4 something, and the night before I woke up around like 3 something, I want to say, and I was up till like 7 in the morning. And it's like, I'm trying to find out if it's someone calling me to kind of wake up and give a message, if it's a 911 emergency message. I'm trying to figure out kind of what it is. But anything I'm saying right now, it's like channeled. So it'll apply to someone. Remember, if it doesn't resonate and I'm just rambling, you can just click off if you're done. You know, you've taken your message. But in my dream, I looked up. I was like in a country, like an open field, like out in the country somewhere, but it was nighttime. And if you looked up, and I don't know who I was following, but we were walking to like a cottage we were gonna sleep in. But I looked up, and when I looked up, it was like when you see the images of stars from like a galaxial point of view. When I looked up, that's what it was. They were beautiful. Like, you could see like just so many constellations of stars. And then I saw the moon. I don't remember like if the moon was full or if it was like a new moon, a waxy moon, bulgy moon, whatever. I just remember it was so illuminated out. Like, you could tell that like moon shadows, like when it's a full moon, that it casts like so much light it causes shadows. That's kind of what it was. But immediately I was like, oh, like, I don't know why I did this in my dream, but I was like, oh, I gotta sit down. And I knew I had to sit down. So I like immediately sat with like my knees bent in front of me, and I put my hands down on the ground. And then I looked up, just ready to like make my wish, you know, and have fulfilled, like, set my intentions out into the universe. And right as soon as I sat down and I looked up, I saw 2 shooting stars. And I was like, there is no way I just saw that. And the thing is, though, the detail I never paid to the instance I saw 2 shooting stars was last year in August, during that full moon. It might have been the July full moon. I'll have to check the date. But I was outside. I was doing, you know, positive affirmations. I was recording them like on a voice memo recorder so I could play them in my like when I go to sleep afterwards. So that way it's like you're still reaffirming it. That intention is still there. You just don't have to like exhaust yourself like verbally every time, and you don't have to like obviously sit there, because I did it for like an hour. Just different affirmations that I wanted to feel, things I wanted to do. But what ended up happening was I looked up, and there's like a full moon over here, and then you just see 2 shooting stars over here. And it's so crazy because then like about a month or 2 later, I ended up meeting someone completely fucked up my life. That's what they did. And I believe that person is my significant counterpart, like within a spiritual connection. So, oh, this is tying in now. So it's, you know, a relationship that has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime, and that person to me is still that, like, that energy, and we have gone through a lot. We're currently working things out, to say the least, because like, I've never had someone trigger me to spiritually grow that much, as much as I have since last August. But then last night, what's crazy is we've been physically separated. There's been a lot of emotional distancing between us. And last week he reached out and he's like, hey, would you like to meet up so that we can talk kind of about what we're gonna do, because we're also expecting. So, oh, there's confirmation. I'm on track. Okay. So we're expecting, and he's like, hey, would you like to get to know me more? Because I told him that after everything we went through, it felt like I never even knew the real him, because it felt like it was just like a deceptive lie, because I felt like, from my point of view, my perspective at that time, this is amazing, my perspective at that time was that he never cared about me. He just like used me. He has codependency issues. He was using me to heal his own traumas. But at the same time, within a twin flame or a past life connection, that person's going to mirror back what's you need to address within yourself. So it's been a lot of changing my perspective. And also it's actually what drew me to becoming a reader, because I love helping people. I'm in the EMS field, so like I'm in the medical field. I'm used to helping people, and that's, I always felt like that was my calling. But at the same time, lately, like my work, it wasn't really fulfilling any, like I loved it, but at the same time I didn't, because I didn't like that I waited for like a call for someone to get hurt or like sick for me to go help, so that I could help, so that I had something to do, you know, because I don't like sitting around and waiting and not doing anything. So that's actually what, going through that hell with my spiritual connection, and he was never like physically abusive. Please do not ever think that someone being physically abusive to you is your spiritual connection, because they would never hurt you, like physically hurt you. If someone's hurting you, that's a whole other thing. But anyways, yeah, so that actually is what led me to being a reader. And that actually helps me change my, like, when I read to you guys, it actually helps me change my energy. And the significance that I was getting to, sorry, totally sidetracked, but what I was getting to is, he reached out, and of course, I kind of just had shut him out a little bit, because I was like, you know what, you don't want to be present and involved. Like, I was seeing things from my perspective, and I was like, I'm gonna do this alone. Like, I just don't even want you in the picture. Like, I've got this on my own. I'm not gonna worry about you. You do you. You do what you think is gonna be right for this child, but I'm not waiting for you. Like, I'm not expecting you to do anything, because I was like, I'm done. You know, I'm done setting high expectations or standards, and or even any, like, a basic reply, you know, I was just done. But I had the dream the night before I went to go see him, and I was really praying. I was like, God, please just help me to have that compassion, so that I can listen, so that I can see what it is he is seeing, because clearly we are not seeing the same thing. And it really turned out to be like this kind of like huge misunderstanding. But because we're so similar and so kind of like, we're so used to being independent, and again, we're so used to how this talked about nurturing. Neither one of us is good at being receptive. We're like very much kind of used to giving, but we suck at expecting it back. Because you should, if you kind of give, don't give to expect it back, but know that you are worthy of getting it back. And that's something that we're both going through right now, learning how to heal that from our childhood wounds of, you know, always giving and giving, giving, and it never being receptive. Or, it never being reciprocated. For someone it's receptive. But it was crazy, because what I noticed in the dream was when I saw the two shooting stars, it was like I was seeing them again from way back in August, you know? But this time I noticed where they kept going and they merged together. Like, they became one. And it was the most beautiful thing ever, because I literally just sat down, put my feet in the ground. I did, you know, that how it just lay in Mother Earth. Let her nurture you. Let her cradle you. Let her change your energy. Let her, see the world from a different perspective. Lay down, stare at the clouds. And it was amazing, because the way they touched, like met back up. I feel like this is a message for people going through 3D or physical separation right now, because it's like, you might think that you're never gonna run into each other because you're constantly paralleling each other or mirroring each other, but at one point you meet again. And to me that was amazing and super significant, because then when we met up the next day, again, I prayed, and on my way there I saw 1111. I saw it twice actually, because one of my clocks was ahead of time, and then I left, and then I randomly checked my phone to see the messages, and it said 11:11 again. So I saw it twice. And I also saw 888 on the way there on a license plate, and I was just like, I was just dumbfounded, because I was like, I can't believe this is happening. And we sat and we talked, and I caught myself, we got mad at one point, slightly heated, but then, like, I knew that that pattern isn't getting us anywhere. So I made myself shut up. I literally was like, please shut the fuck up. Like, listen, just try to see it from a different perspective. And what it came back down to was, we had a misunderstanding months ago. And from there, we both started stemming out. And we just kept putting more distance and space between us because of our own insecurities and wounds. We were putting assumptions about the other person into our own heads. We were being our own blocks. We were self-sabotaging our relationship. And the way we discussed, and then also during this time, the music in my car was like, it was crazy. I feel like it put him in his feels, because like, he started opening up when he saw that I wasn't taking like the bullshit game anymore. Like, I was just, well, again, I was trying to be quiet so that I could listen. So I was trying not to talk. So I came off maybe a little cold. But that made him meet me, you know, where I was at. And the music was just like spot on lyrics. I was like, what is going on? Because I didn't curate like a playlist. It was just random. And it was like, what the hell? And also I looked down at one point, kind of when we caught ourselves finally clearing up the air, like a lot. And that clarity, it's not about rekindling with each other. It was about, holy shit, that clarity was like, that was the blessing. And also, we just ended up in such a better spot that, like, we both acknowledge it's going to take so much, like, it's going to take time and a lot of those little open connections and conversations to keep moving forward. But it was just so significant. And also, when I looked down, it was 111, like 1:11 p.m. And I was like, there's no, like, just so many synchronicities. And, you know, if you are going to have a conversation with someone that possibly did hurt you from the past, put music on, like, in the background, you know, so that way, in case it gets quiet, it's not, like, dead quiet and both of you are overthinking in your own heads. Put, like, uptune, you know, upbeat kind of music, or, like, just put music on. And that way, you know, if it gets quiet, like, you can turn it up a little bit and give both of you time within that presence of each other to relax from each other, have a moment to process what was just said, and then the music will lift your beat, or your beat. It'll lift your energy. So it'll, you know, dance with life. It'll do something to change your energy. Dance with them back and forth. Try to, you know, try to, again, that balance. It's that balance, but it's in a good way. Like, it's fun. Not fun. It's never fun to have serious conversations like that, but it's such a lighter approach, and it's so good for your soul to let out your truths, your honesty, you know, to be honest with someone, especially if you feel like they're a significant person in your life. Like, it feels good to just have clarity, because that I was saying that that clarity is very nurturing for your soul, especially if you're healing from possibly that connection with that person. So yeah, that was my story on this, you guys. I really hope if anyone else is on that journey, you show compassion for yourself too, because for whatever fucked up reason, like, our souls chose to do this dance before we even came. So try to see things from a fresh perspective. I know this is a lot longer than the previous daily, but I just felt I needed to share that story for someone. Perhaps someone else is going through this. And what I've learned, and what I always like to say in my videos, is that your lesson I always ask that if this resonates with you to please share the lessons you learned down in the comments, so that your lessons may come across as a blessing to someone else that is going through this. And I feel like maybe that's why I just told you guys this whole story. So that if someone else is going on this journey, that this come as a blessing to you, and it help nurture your soul and let you know that, one, Gaia, we are all connected, and we can feel it. Chances are, if you're listening right now, like, you're an empath or a light worker, so you feel that shifting of energies, unless you, like, are really good at shielding yourself. And it's just about being conscious. Like, be conscious of the shifting crazy energies right now, so make sure you shield yourself and only allow loving, unconditional love to, you know, come into your space. And then ask your angels to transmute any incoming negative or lower vibrational frequencies or energies into light. But so we are all in this together, you know, as a team, from a feminine viewpoint, from a masculine viewpoint. Like, we are all very interconnected, more than we know, if that makes sense. So I hope that this message helped someone, and I hope you guys all have a beautiful, wonderful evening, and I hope this message finds you all in grand health, and I wish you love and blessings and prosperity. And I would like to thank you all for spending time, and if you made it to the end of the video, thank you for listening, and also for the energy exchange, you know, like, for being here with me, and also so that I can give this beautiful, loving energy, nurturing energy to you guys. And on that note, I hope you guys have a wonderful, beautiful Monday. And I know this was actually really heavy for a Monday, or it felt like a lot to say for a Monday, but maybe that's why I had to say it, because someone else is about to go through it this week, you know. Well, so I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything, but I don't think I am. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you found this message helpful, and again, support each other in the comments as a community. We've got this. Have a good day, you guys.